Former Minneapolis police officer Thomas Lane on Wednesday pleaded guilty to a charge of aiding and abetting second-degree manslaughter in the death of George Floyd, according to Minnesota's Office of the Attorney General, agreeing to serve 3 years in federal prison. Lane, Thao and Kueng last month pleaded not guilty to state charges of aiding and abetting murder and aiding and abetting manslaughter and rejected a plea deal, prosecutors said at the time. The three were found guilty by a federal jury in February of depriving Floyd of his constitutional rights by willfully failing to stop Chauvin from using unnecessary force that resulted in Floyd's death. Footage of the incident shows Chauvin kneeling on Floyd's neck for more than 9 minutes, ignoring Floyd's repeated plea, "I can't breathe." All 4 officers were fired a day after Floyd's death. Chauvin pleaded guilty last year to a federal charge of violating Floyd's civil rights, for which he could face a federal sentence of 20 to 25 years in prison. He was also sentenced to 22 years and 6 months in prison for state charges of murder and manslaughter. Floyd's killing sparked nationwide protests on police brutality and racism throughout the summer of 2020. Trials for Kueng and Thao begin June 13, according to Ellison's office. The two were also charged with second-degree unintentional murder and second-degree manslaughter in the death of George Floyd. Ex-cop pleads guilty to manslaughter in George Floyd's death. Associated Press jury finds 3 ex-Minneapolis police officers guilty of violating George Floyd's civil rights. Forbes 3 former police officers charged in George Floyd's death reject plea deal, CNN.